Wait, what is this? Is there a Jen on my channel?
Hold on. I am ripping Focused apart on Twitter right now. Okay, Hold on. I am tearing apart Focused right now. Hold on.
So, for all of you guys in the back, this is what allyship looks like.
What did I say? So, to recap, Wolf the Red posted something that I can't remember now. And somebody responded about leaving you all in a field to die.
I mean, Ocean posted something.
Was it Ocean's? I don't even know whose it is.
Ocean posted a thing that was basically like a bunch of runes for "Go fuck yourself" focus. That was a bunch of different.
Is it that one? Because I don't even know what the fuck I'm responding to anymore.
It might be that one, but you're like so buried in the weeds that you're not gonna ever figure out who it was.
Yeah. So
a bunch of Nazis just descended on his post.
So somebody had said something about.
Okay, so Paige says that you're responding to the Wolf one, but Ocean also posted something that.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm responding to at this point. So Wolf was like, I will fucking end you. And I turned around and told dude, I was like, you have a group of people here who will wallop your what did I say? Wallop your ass so hard it will knock you into Helheim so that your ancestors can tell you how fucking stupid you are. And this is now, and then he said that I would try to sexually assault him, to sleep with him, and then I responded with, I would fuck Rand Paul before I even laughed at his dick.
Well then. So, we have a whole bunch of new people, because after
Welcome, everyone.
Shit in December, which I'm sure you're aware of, because you were one of the people that I sent the video to early, but I started some shit with a current pain in the ass that we've all been tangentially aware of, named Wisdom of Odin.
Hold on 1 second. Freya, what do you mean by weird mic quality? What's going on? I can lower my mic a little bit, but what weird mic quality? Who's got the weird mic quality?
Okay, I thought that might have been my headphones, but you sound a little distorted.
Weird. Hold on.
Like you sound like what happens when you okay, so you're an audiophile, right? You know when you boost a speaker and it starts to rattle, that's what you sound like. And now you sound like nothing. There is no voice coming through. Nothing.
I forgot to hit unmute. How about now?
Oh, you sound normal now.
Okay.
Yeah, you sounded like what happens when you boost a speaker and it starts to rattle on the edges.
So the way I have it set up is that all my USB ports are on the floor, and when I'm sitting here clicking through shit, I randomly play with it with my feet, so things wiggle. Because I can't sit still.
So the frame might have been caused by that. Yeah. By the way, first super chat of the return, Ikeda Hakubi, welcome back.
Thank you. Speaking of super chats, I'm sorry, Allie. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm going to finish the intro for all the new folks, because we have a huge influx in both the server and the show. We normally don't have 60 people right off the gate waiting for us. So welcome. I started some shit, and the channel accidentally kind of got a boost off of it. I did not expect to get a bunch of growth off of starting some shit, but again, I'm extremely glad that I did. As a COVID survivor, what he's doing is completely unacceptable. You knew me, actually. We met when I got sick, and you remember me being in and out of the hospital. Like, you were there for one of the breakdowns I had, so you know that I was telling the fucking truth. Like, you saw my positive test when people were trolling me.
Before you had met me, my son got really sick back in March. Coughing like I've never seen before. My child has never had pink eye ever in his life. And things were just oozing out of him.
And now it's coming out now that conjunctivitis is one of those symptoms.
Right. So it was the week that everything shut down. Jack and Quill, I fucking love you. You piece of shit. I love you.
Carbuckle, $5 super chat.
Thank you, Carbuckle. So it was the week that everything shut down. He had went to the doctor like 2-3 days before that. They were like, oh, it's just a cold, it's just a really bad cold.
Aether Tales, wait for it, it's gonna fry again. Like, I can get it to sound healthy for a few minutes, and then it shits itself again for no reason at all.
So they're like, oh, it's just a cold, it's just a really bad cold. And this is when we were first finding out about COVID. And I'm like, so should we get a test? And they're like, oh, no. He's got mucus. He's got, it was conjunctivitis. He's got conjunctivitis. It's not that. And they gave me an absent note for him for 3 days. The third day, I was like, he's still really sick. I need this extended. The fourth day, they shut the country down. So I was talking to his doctor about 6 months later. And this is when we found out that conjunctivitis is actually a symptom. And she said, she goes, I'm sorry for not testing him, but I honestly think that he had it. He probably got it at school.
I would not be surprised.
And it was weird because I had very minimal symptoms. The person that lives with us who's high risk was asymptomatic.
Yeah, you know what? We had I told you about this. Nate was asymptomatic. Nate has consented to me talking about him on the channel. He's our boarder. He's actually hung out in our Discord a few times playing Among Us with cool us. People. Yeah, he has diabetes and a very rare liver and blood disease called hemochromatosis, where his body can't purge iron, and it's poisoning his liver. He has liver failure. He is the highest risk you could possibly be, and he didn't get any symptoms at all, and neither did my other partner, but my husband and I both nearly died. When I say nearly died, what I mean is I got clots, and my husband had a fever over 104 for over a week.
Now, that bed right there, my child laid in that bed, coughing and unable to breathe for 2 weeks. Couldn't see. His eyes were so runny. And as a parent, it's scary when you can't breathe and you think something's really wrong and that you may die, to watch your child go
or to watch your husband.
When I heard this over pork-bellied valhal thought motherfucker is holding fucking gatherings and encouraging people to get on planes and to drive across the fucking country, and he's holding these maskless, I wanted to put a fucking plastic bag over his head and ask him, how do you feel that you can't breathe? Is this what you want your followers to do? Is this what you want the people on the planes to be fucking exposed to? But no, Grifter's got a fucking grift. Oh. L. Ron fucking Hubbard over here, the reincarnation of L. Ron fucking Hubbard, gotta make his dollar. So, we can't stop the fucking gatherings.
Welcome back, Jen. Mm-hmm. We've got F-bomb counters in the chat.
Jen's in a mood today.
So, Valk thought, that is hilarious.
Valhal thought. So, I've coined this term Valhal thought. And that is these...
So we got all these $5 super chats. We're gonna have to get into intros for new stuff for the new year.
No, not Valk thought, Valhal thought. Although we can modify Valk thought.
That's a play on Valknut. It's Valk thought.
I like Valk thought. I like Valhal thought. Valhal thought is these focused motherfuckers in the heathen faith that scream they're such good warriors and they'll fucking take on anyone and they're so tough and they're such a leader and they feel fucking Odin through them. Meanwhile, if their wireless goes out, they fucking cry. Fuck you, you're a Valhal thought. That's what I call you. You're a fucking Valhal thought. These motherfuckers that put the fucking the I can never say the thing on the chest with the triangles.
It's Valknut.
Valknut, thank you. I always fuck it up. I'm calling them Valk thoughts. These are the misrepresenting white supremacist motherfuckers that sit there and put this on their chest. Like all of a sudden, they got what the fuck they got. Oh my God, my ancestors, you're a fucking Valk thought. Shut the fuck up. You ain't nothing but a posing ass motherfucking bitch. Putting this shit.
Motherfuckers, apparently.
You're a Valk thought, period.
So, as everybody here knows, for some reason, and I will let you share what you are willing to share. For some reason, oh my gods, that's kind of glorious and also hilarious.
Is the cat puking? God damn it! I just vacuumed. Fuck.
So this is one of the reasons why, again, I'm going to let you share what you're willing to, but we took a break all through December for the holidays. We didn't originally plan to do the whole thing. Originally, it was going to be 2 weeks, and then shit hit the fan twice with 2 different streams. Like, first with me and then with you.
Y'all want to know what happened in December for me? The vacuum broke. 2 weeks later, the washing machine broke. And then I found out my kid's bed broke. Yes, we're reaching terminal velocity fuck again. So December was expensive.
Because remember, I had the fucking contractors and the emergency repair in my basement.
December was expensive.
Appalachia Folk Witch, thank you so much, Witch.
Thank
Jen's
you,
back. Let's go. So we've had 4 or $5 super chats. We should probably talk about the one thing we're going to be doing for the shows for this year.
These lights back here change color. I have like fucking 28 colors or some shit. I'm not fucking with the color wheel. But for every super chat, $5 or more, I'm stealing this from Cyrus. And Cyrus, thank you for giving me you're okay on this. Every super chat for $5 or more gets to change the lights in my background. I have a whole fucking bunch. Name your fucking color. If I can't make it, I'll let you know. We'll go with the next best thing. And we have variations. We have like light blue, dark blue, light green. We have variations. So
now that we are officially 10 minutes in of rambling and running off into the weeds, because that's what we do here on this show. Child of Nyx, $10 super chat. Welcome back, Jen.
Thank you.
And as per usual, full disclosure, what Google lets us keep, Jen and I do split fully, like 50-50. That's how we handle the show. So anything you give is going to both of us. That's the way that we've always done it. That said, if you guys do decide to do the $5 super chats, Jen will change the
I have the phone
lights.
Here.
And as always,
Child of Nyx, I think that was part of Child of Nyx's super chat. Is that
red?
Okay. Let's see.
So, for those of you who are not familiar with the show, we do engage with the chat and we try to get to everybody's questions that are appropriate. Oh, damn. It is now hell in the room, guys. Jen is now trying to sexually attract all of you. If you've been around long enough, you get that. If you haven't, I'm not going to explain it. Somebody in the chat can if they feel like it.
And this stays until the next super chat comes in. So if nobody else gives a super chat, the shit stays red. But if you'd like to, actually, no, we're going to put a timer on it.
5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll do 5 minutes. So,
or until the next super chat.
I'll forget. So,
yeah, at least 5 minutes or the next super chat.
Set an alarm.
So, So, for those of you who are not familiar, also, we do try to engage with the chat. If you guys ask questions and we think it's appropriate, we'll respond. However, those who give super chats do get prioritized.
Yes.
And that's not greediness or anything. That's just we're trying to make sure that if somebody's, like if you feel like you got to pay $5 to make sure we see your shit, we're going to see it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're getting another 5 minutes of red.
Okay.
So, Jen be in the red light district.
Damn
so,
it. Hold on.
10 minutes of red. Yeah, we have excellent mods, guys. Like, our mods keep it pretty clean, and it's still a small enough chat that I can actually help out. There's 75 of you here. Holy crap. This is one of the biggest showings that we've had in quite some time. So, Jen, it was your topic this week that you brought up.
Alexa, stop. Jesus Christ. She's loud as fuck, yo.
Do you want me to run timers
Alexa,
on my phone?
Please. Alexa's like, excuse me.
All right, I will start the 10-minute timer now because I have no fucking clue how long it's running. But I will start a 10-minute timer now. Jen is broken. So this timer will go off in exactly 10 minutes. We've got Ikeda and Child of Nyx. Anybody else who picks a color, in 10 minutes your color will change. All right, so coming back to topics, Jen, you were the one who picked the topic for this week because we waffled for like 3 weeks. We had a topic picked, then January 6th happened. We were like, let's talk about that. And then the impeachment shit happened. We were like, let's talk about that. And now this shit happened, and you're like, we are now talking about this.
Because 2021 is definitely suffering from youngest child syndrome and will absolutely...
hold my beer.
It will absolutely outshine its older siblings to, 2019 and 2020.
I mean, we're certainly getting there with COVID deaths, but
Marrow, that's me muting my mic to tell Alexa to shut the fuck up.
So, for those of you who didn't get the meme reference in the thumbnail, Amazon Web Services has cut Parler off. But Jen, do you want to describe the cesspool that is Parler?
No, it's not just Amazon. It's Android, Google Market. I guess it's like the same thing.
Apple,
now, right? Apple. Their
PayPal.
Excuse me. Their web server is down.
That was Amazon Web Services. That was
their server. Was that who hosted them? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know like Amazon has its own app store and shit. It's got
no, Amazon Web Services is the API they ran their website through.
Yeah.
They can't contact their server now because they cut them off.
So yes, thank you, Aiden. Parler's lawyers stopped representing them. So Parler was a social media website akin to Twitter. But when Twitter started cracking down on extreme right-wing, extreme conservatism, Parler allowed it. So Parler became this social media haven for just right-wing, super radical right-wing conservatism. That thing. Yeah. That thing. And it basically became kind of like a Facebook, Twitter blend for the extreme right. They would, one of my videos was racist bombed on Parler and through Telegram. So gives you an idea of kind of what's going on.
Oh, is that who did the attack? So you finally found it.
Apparently it got posted to Parler, and then through Parler it got posted to Telegram. It got pushed out through Telegram with Parler. So,
by the way, you're about to get a bunch of Discord DMs. It's me moving all the stuff we talked about into your DM so I can show things on the stream.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. I was like, well,
okay. Victoria Janowski, $5 super chat. These guys going through this country super spreading caused the economy to fail. Address us long haulers draining the economy in the long run. Purple. So we've got 7 minutes left.
7 minutes. Yep. 7 minutes.
It'll beep. You'll hear it.
Yeah. Just purple.
So go ahead and keep kind of getting in a little bit to Parler, because Parler didn't get that big per se, but it was definitely an echo chamber.
Right. So it became this massive echo chamber of just crazy right-wing shit. But they never moderated and they never censored their content. So what eventually wound up happening was...
wasn't Speak Freely like their motto or something?
Yes, Speak Freely was their... Or something like that, like Speak Free or Speak Freely, whatever the fuck. That was their motto. So... when Trump had lost the election, this entire platform went nuts. And because they never moderated what their content was, things like the Capitol insurrection and hate crimes were actively being planned on Parler. And we now found out that the Capitol insurrection was completely planned on Parler.
There's some debate about that.
Parler and Telegram.
Parler, Telegram, and private
Alexa,
Facebook
stop.
groups.
I fucking told that bitch, and she told me the alarms were canceled. What the fuck?
Well, there's the first 5 minutes. We've still got mine running. It's fine. But there was actually a bunch of stuff that came out that apparently private Facebook groups, which are not moderated by Facebook's main moderation, that the bulk of the planning might have been done there. There's been argument between experts about that. In fact, there's a couple of media watchdog groups that have been crying foul, and we'll get into that later because the Rolling Stone will get into why they're not the best news source, but they kind of publish some stuff about that. So there's
I can see that.
But there was planning going on Parler regardless.
Facebook is like a barbershop in New York City in the 1920s.
Breakwin. $5 super chat. So after the 5 minutes of purple, we get green. Okay. I have screenshots from Parler that I can't post anywhere because they'd violate every TOS everywhere.
So Facebook is like a barbershop in the 1920s in New York City. When you first walk in, the public face is this very kind of tiny barbershop where people get together and they talk and they share things. But if you open the door in the back, you have a giant fucking speakeasy going on in the back. And that's what their private groups are like. That's exactly what it's like. The front just looks like your regular old barbershop, sitting, shooting the breeze, sharing shit, bullshitting. But when you open that speakeasy door in the background, you've got an entire illegal underground world. That is what Facebook is like when it comes to its private groups. So it doesn't surprise me.
This is going in out of context
every
quotes.
Day of my life. For real. Because that's what has my morning alarm. So it's every fucking day.
Also, your F-bomb counter, man. We've got one in the chat. We've got one in the chat.
Like, this isn't expected? Come on.
So, interesting stuff about Parler, though. So what was the reason that Apple and Amazon gave? Let's kind of get into that a little bit.
Inciting violence. They said that they will not
I'm going to post the CNN article in the chat for those that are looking for it.
I knew. Yes, and I comb my hair on stream, so fuck y'all. I also got a new hair straightener with infrared, so it looks a little better.
So I'm going to be screen sharing.
Happy about that.
I'm going to be screen sharing the article. Apologies for all the ads and stuff. You get blocked off if you do, but basically, Amazon said it would remove Parler from its cloud hosting service, Amazon Web Services, effectively kicking it off the public internet after mounting pressure from public and Amazon employees.
Now, this doesn't mean that there's not a secret APK floating around that you can't put it on, say, a jailbroken phone.
Yeah, but it can't access its services, so you can't get on it because with Amazon Web Services, so the way that Amazon Web Services works is it's one of the bridges that connects you to the server where your website is hosted. So them getting dropped means the site doesn't exist right now. Like they have to basically build their own like hosting service from scratch.
Yes.
So the Amazon Web Services folks, it's being stupid with the highlighting. We've seen a steady increase in this violent content on your website, all of which violates our terms. It's clear that Parler does not have an effective process to comply with the Amazon Web Services terms of service.
A lot of the terms of services will straight tell you need to make sure it's non-violent, non-bullying, and Parler was absolutely not about that. So.
Yeah, this stuff actually happened to 4chan forever ago. They had to build their own everything from scratch because they got cut off. Like, they even have to trade in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yep, and here we have Apple. There's no place on our platform for threats of violence and illegal activity. And apparently, like, it was, again, violating the company's App Store terms. Parler has not taken adequate measures to address the proliferation of these threats to people's safety. We have suspended Parler from the App Store until they resolve these issues. Google did the same. Apple actually was on Google's coattails, as per usual, because on Friday, Google Play, was dropped. Parler
I believe Google Play was the first one.
Yep, Google Play was the first one. Amazon Web Services, though, the reason that's such a big deal is because it effectively killed them.
Yeah, like I said before, while, Google Play and the Apple Store can pull the app off, they still had a hosting service. So anybody could jailbreak a phone and through the APK file, download the APK file onto their phone. And, ooh, that's weird.
Whoops. That's... I forgot to hit the stop
download
screen.
it onto their phone and install the app that way. You just couldn't easily download it through the store. And I believe it is time for a light change, and it was
we've got 56 seconds left, but
56 seconds.
Yep, since your timers were going off earlier, I'll just reset the timer now. So 5 minutes of purple.
Ooh, that looks kind of nice.
There we go. We've got 5 minutes of purple and then 5 minutes of green, and then it's staying green until somebody else gives us another super chat. So, there have been some speculations about what's going to happen with Parler being gone, because the thing is, it's not as though Parler's the only one, not by any stretch.
Oh, but can we talk about what happened with Parler's super shitty, non-existent security? Can we talk about that?
Oh, God. Okay. This is the tea that Jen wants to spill. Let me load the tweets. Let me load the tweets and you can start gushing about the hack. There's been some hackers.
It's not even a hack. It's just exploiting its own system. Like, there was no hacking. They didn't have to, guess passwords or anything.
All right, so, this is interesting. There we go. This is some fun shit, guys.
So, for any of you who don't want to read this shit, basically, Parler had kind of no recourse, and they wouldn't ask people to, if you lost your password, they wouldn't send anything to your email address, making sure that it's you verifying that you're changing your password. They would just let you go. So a bunch of people found who the admin accounts were to Parler that had access to everything. They had access to metadata, archived posts, people's real identities, and to Parler. In order to sign up for Parler, you needed to send them a full front and back copy of your driver's license.
Okay, no, this was not to sign up. This was you to become a verified citizen.
Okay.
So they had an option where in Parler, anybody could create an account without verifying an email address. That's what this whole thing is explaining here. But if you wanted to get a, like, basically the equivalent of Twitter's blue check mark that you're actually a verified human being,
your driver's
you
license.
uploaded the front and back of your driver's license.
Full addresses and everything.
Yep.
So they basically did not have this like email verification for their passwords. So somebody found out all the admin accounts. They then entered the admin emails and reset the passwords and then got access into it. Then they got access into the admin accounts, which had everything. It had all the driver's license pictures. It had the metadata. It had the geolocations for the pictures. It had the entire archive. When people thought they were deleting things off Parler, it was actually just archived. So all these deleted posts, they had metadata location, geotags, driver's licenses, everything, all because Parler did not have a verification system.
We got another $5 super chat
for Purple. Okay, all because Parler did not have an email verification, so they were able to just go in and change a whole bunch of admin passwords as soon as they requested them. All they needed was the list for the admins. Done. So with that, everyone was wondering, how did the Capitol insurgents, how did they get found out so quickly that they were able to put them on no-fly list before they flew out of D.C.? These people did this in less than a day on Parler. Excuse me. Then turned the information over to the FBI. Names, everything. So the FBI, within 24 hours, was, because Parler had such shitty security, was able to get these people's names, get their driver's license numbers, report it to the FAA, and put them on a no-fly list.
Keep in mind also, though, Parler was not the one that had the shitty security protocols. What it was Twilio, the service that they were using, accidentally revealed which services they were using, and because of that, hackers were able to get a backdoor into creating these authenticated user accounts. Which, let's be clear about this. If you were on Parler, your information's already been leaked and uploaded. Like, that's just already happened.
Yep.
I would highly suggest changing any one of your passwords.
This is why when all my friends were like, we're going to go to Parler and fuck with people, I didn't go over there. This was why, because I was like, some shit's going to go down. I remember Ashley Madison.
Not all hacking is illegal.
Not all hacking is illegal. There are some white hat hackers.
I've done some white hat hacking. It is fun.
Right. Who are actually employed by corporations to find bugs within their systems.
Or you could just be an asshole, find a bug, and then sell it to somebody, which is what I did.
Right, but you also do have people who, for free, will work their way into a system and then turn around and tell the corporation or tell the business or whoever it is, hey, we found these patches that we were able to get into, just giving you a heads up. So some people actually get paid to do this. There are whole teams in, banking administrations, IT systems, where...
Oh, that's green now.
Green. Where people are actually paid to hack these systems. So not all of it is illegal. Green.
Yeah, and keep in mind that these hacks were mostly for archiving purposes, for what I understand. No. And mass amounts of these things have now been archived.
That's the darkest green I can get, by the way.
The Internet Archive now has the majority of the planning that went on, including DMs and such, archived to it, which means the FBI now has a massive amount of information for investigating the people who basically tried to hack our democracy. This is how they
were able to find people before they flew out of D.C. and put them on no-fly lists.
By the way, quick shill for you guys. We are 30 minutes in. There are 90 of you. I don't know if that's only 38 because my stuff's glitching out, but there's only 38 likes. Can you guys help us feed the algorithm a little bit? Hit the like button or hit the dislike button if you want us to go fuck ourselves and never want to see us in your stuff again. Like, either way, it counts as engagement. Just help us out. The algorithm gods are hungry, and it's been a while.
Fuck, I'm hungry too, actually.
So, let's see. If you don't have a previous contact, or if the contact doesn't have some bug boundary like Google, if Gray had hacking and legally dubious. It depends. Like, if you find a bug and you immediately go to the company that has the software, they actually most often will actually pay you. It's not really considered gray hat hacking unless you try to exploit the bug.
Right. Well, we've had white hat hackers who have actually hacked government systems and then immediately turned their findings over to the government and said, hey, we found these holes. The government never charged them. They never charged them.
Well, and that's correct. It's hacktivism, which may or may not be illegal. I mean, there's hacktivism. It's a gray zone. I'm not exactly going to sit here condemning people who are helping put terrorists behind bars.
Hold on. Jack and Quills is now saying I'm the algorithmic God confirmed. This is the third conversation about me having qualities of a god that I've had today. Third.
Jen is a hero confirmed.
Oh, apparently I had gotten into a conversation with two separate people about the one thing that stood out the most to me with the Norse gods is that how very human they seem to be. You know, like Odin's constantly fucking mad. I'm like, we all got a friend like Odin, we all got a friend like Freya. And I was told, yes, the friend that I have like Freya, her name is Jen fucking Aldridge.
Oh shit. So, this comes from the validist bold, Gainer, has sent me two very interesting breaking news type things from Twitter.
Oh.
Kim Possible Facts and Okta, we were informed that Parler was using a free trial of Okta's product, and we have terminated Parler's access to the Okta platform. While we support organizations across the political spectrum, our platform will not be used for threats of violence and illegal activity.
There's one conversation.
They were using a free trial software to store and verify all their user identity up until they terminated it yesterday. Wolf the Red, $5 super chat.
Wolf is one of the people I had this conversation with.
Wolf, you need to tell us what color you want the background to change.
Yes, what color light would you like, Wolf? We're changing lights in the background. This is supposed to be green, and apparently it does not come through very well.
So... yeah, that's
so the line that was actually spoken was, and I was like, yeah, I could see that. I was like, if you ever heard the term, yeah, I fucked him, got a necklace out of it, it would probably come from me. Just saying.
So apparently after red. The green is over and the purple is over, then red.
We got red. Yeah.
So yeah, anybody who does, for those of you that are late coming in, anybody who does a $5 super chat or more can change the background color of Jen's lights for 5 minutes.
Wolf, maybe can you answer Felipe's question? Do pagans consider that humans having similar personalities to gods be coincidental or somewhat intended? Which is really fucking funny because I'm the atheist.
The answer is we don't know anything about the god's will per se, but that different people who worship certain gods seem to sometimes share personality traits. Like there are certain things that a lot of Hellenists seem to have in common. There are certain things that a lot of heathens seem to have in common. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it's a thing that I've observed. That's my personal opinion. But we can't really know the will of the gods, so, like, trying to say, well, absolutely it's intended, I have no fucking clue.
Okay, this is weird. We're comparing me to Freya, and a cat appears.
We've got another red from Appalachia Folk Witch. Thank you so much, Witch. Red, you gotta talk about all the companies that are canceling funding to the GOP and the PGA, dropping Trump's golf course.
Stop licking your ass on the stream.
We are purple now. As soon as Jen stops laughing her ass off. We got two more super chats after which, so we've got another red.
Red's all over.
Yellow.
Woo! Thank you guys.
And yellow. Then red.
Where's yellow? Yellow. Okay.
And then pink.
I do have to tell you that yellow comes across as white, kind of. I don't know if I have pink. Let me see if I got pink.
All right, so let's see. We've got purple.
I got a pinkish. I can do that.
Red. Yellow.
Purple, red. Well, we've got red for like 15 minutes.
Red, pink. Not in a row.
Okay.
We've got purple, red, yellow, red, pink.
Thank you for taking note of this, because I would have forgotten.
I've got a little notepad open.
Thank you.
All right, so timer's going. Also, I will let you guys know when that starts to exceed our normal runtime. We are almost at 100 viewers.
I know.
Crap.
Holy shit. So, yeah, back to Parler.
So, folks were asking us to talk a little bit
Parler
about...
got owned.
Yeah. And people were asking us to talk a little bit about the companies that are cutting off their GOP donations following the Trump insurrection stuff.
Yeah, so I have thoughts about this. Yeah. And I kind of touched on them in my last video.
It took that to make you stop, really?
Right.
That's basically sums my thoughts.
Yeah, I touched on this in my last video, but I kind of delegated it to politicians and members of government, members of all branches of government. However, just because you pull your support or you pull your funding after they stormed the Capitol with a Confederate flag and then tore down the U.S. flag to put up a Trump flag.
You know, I dislike the term, but that's called virtue signaling.
That's called an act of war.
No, I'm talking about pulling your funding after that. If that's what it takes, that's virtue signaling.
Yeah. So, this
blue,
whole time...
Or turquoise or blue.
I have a turquoise-ish. I have that. So, this whole time, when all this shit was spouting and people fucking knew, because you've got people in these companies that were on Parler. You've got people running these companies that are on Telegram. You fucking knew this shit was being planned, but it wasn't until after the fact that you're gonna fucking pull your money. No, it don't make it any fucking better. You have virtue signaling. Suddenly you want equality. Suddenly you want fucking peace. Yet 200 fucking years, what are we at, 270 something in this country? I'm not doing the fucking math. 200 some odd fucking years of this country.
Hey guys, the accent has made its appearance.
It started early. 200 fucking years in this country of this class of people, these white, evangelical, middle class, upper middle class, rich fucking people beating on people of color, beating on women, taking their fucking land, murdering them. Now, when they put other white lives in danger, now you want to do something about it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, bitch.
Well, and even then, like, you could talk a little bit. You had some thoughts about the cops.
Mm-hmm. Well, why do you never see Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana on stage at the same time?
Well, you want to expand a little bit about
that? You ever notice fucking Superman and Clark Kent ain't standing on the same fucking block together, right? Right? Mm-hmm. They straight up said it. Cops were off-duty police officers that were part of the fucking crowd were flashing their ID and identifying themselves as law enforcement to get these people through.
Well, and not only that, but they were woefully unprepared.
Bullshit! Bullshit! You gonna tell me they're fucking unprepared? BLM shows up at the fucking Capitol. It looks like Iraq is coming to fucking storm us. It literally looks like we pissed off Iraq and they decided to turn their troops on us with the way that the Capitol Police and the way the fucking National Guard showed up, full fucking riot gear, 25 deep per step on the fucking Capitol steps when BLM showed up. But they just walk right the fuck past them. A bunch of fucking white boys roll up, they just walk right the fuck past them. Capitol Police would have stopped North Korea from entering the fucking Capitol. The way that they showed out on fucking BLM. The way that they fucking handled BLM. The way that they beat people. The way that they shot at people. The way that they fucking gassed people. The way that they fucking tased people. They could have stopped North Korea from storming the fucking Capitol. But you mean to tell me Al-Qaeda got in the fucking door? Bullshit. No. Lit shade, no, shut up. No. They were looking for an all-out reason to declare martial fucking law when BLM shows up. But fucking bucktooth fucking Billy Bob rolls his ass the fuck on in there.
Okay, remember, though, like, a photo op with the Bible was enough reason to declare
they were taking photos with them. They were taking selfies with these motherfuckers. It took a black fucking cop to distract them. Literally, this cop distracted them something like 3:15 in the afternoon to get them away from the fucking house doors. They fucking went into the fucking seclusion chamber at 3:16. A black fucking cop had to do it. A black cop had to put his life on the fucking line to save the white lawmakers that turn around and say he doesn't deserve enough to make enough money to feed his fucking family. This is what the fuck we've come to. What are we up to next? Red.
10 minutes of red.
Nice setting. Nice setting. Yeah, you gonna fucking sit here. Hold on, a Christian anarchist. Okay, no. For one, the Capitol Police were on the Capitol grounds. When there is a perceived threat to the U.S. Capitol, the Capitol Police are required to show up. They are required to show up.
The head of the Capitol Police got basically fired by Congress because he said that he was worried about, quote, stoking tensions if he acted.
So can we scroll up to the first Comment, a Christian anarchist during the BLM National Guard actually showed up. Okay, so for one, National Guard was actually on call for this protest.
They were told no.
So, okay, no, they had them set. They knew that they were coming. They had National Guard on call and set for the protest. However, when they started to storm the Capitol, because the Capitol falls under certain jurisdictions, there needed to be another authorization made for them to literally hit the Capitol. The protest had been happening here, the Capitol lawn, I believe, but the actual building was up here. So when they started to fucking move, they needed another authorization. They were already on call. They were already on alert. They were already in the streets for this protest. But when it came down to stopping them storming the Capitol, they were told no.
Mm-hmm. They were told that it might stoke tensions further.
It might stoke tensions further. A Confederate flag in the rotunda of the Capitol. But it may stoke tensions further. Mark Mudge, okay, so DC National Guard is weird.
We've got Socialist Dragon, $10.
Yeah, let me just address this real quick. DC National Guard is the only place in the country where the National Guard has to be authorized by the president. This is why Nancy Pelosi had to call out to other states. In every other state, the governor activates them. But because DC is federal and it's a whole bunch of fucking weird little laws about it not being an actual state, only the president can authorize National Guard in DC. The DC National Guard itself. I'm sorry, can we address... Thank you for that. Socialist Dragon, can you put that up on the screen, please?
Sure. Go ahead and read out if you like.
The police are not legally bound to protect us. They are currently no better than occupiers, and they violated BLM's First Amendment right. The ones were right of redress of grievances. That's correct. They may not...
By the way, Socialist Dragon, if you want to change the color, please let me know.
Yes, please let us know. So, this all falls into whatever jurisdiction the police department is. Some do have it legally and contractually obligated that they must serve and protect. This is standard, if not within the laws of the state, it's part of their employment contract. Either way.
It depends on how that's interpreted, though.
Yes.
So, again, Socialist Dragon, let us know if you want the color changed.
Yes.
We do have a color change
orange.
here.
I think
orange like the cat.
Let me see if I have orange. I know my kid was trying to fuck with orange.
Thank you so much, Metal Hawk.
It's kind of a peach. Would that work?
Okay, so we have turquoise, nothing, and then orange. I'm just going to leave that place blank.
Socialist Dragon said pink. Okay.
Pink, so it'd be turquoise and then pink again.
Also, Gaius, Pence had to call in secondary commanders to get the DC Guard to move in. So for all of y'all, I don't fucking know. There was a gallows erected in front of the Capitol when they stormed it. They outright said the gallows was meant for Mike Pence. They were going to hang him in public for being a traitor to Trump.
Because Mike Pence refused to comply. Do you want to give a little bit of background on why that is?
So Trump wanted Mike
Because
Pence
there's some people who took a mental health break, keeping track of all the crazy.
Trump approached Pence to fix the voter issue, and Pence was like, I can't do that. Like,
this after, of course, he called Georgia.
Right. And now he expected Pence to just walk into Congress and be like, oh, so, I'm kind of just the head of everything here. So I'm just going to say this is what I decided to call and that's it. When it doesn't work that way.
He asked him to refuse to certify the votes.
Yes. And he can't do that without a vote. Like, this is what Trump's not understanding. He thinks that in certain positions within the government, it gives you carte blanche to do whatever the fuck you want. He thought that Mike Pence could turn around and say, well, I know that you guys voted to certify the vote, but because I'm the vice president, who is the head of Congress. The vice president runs Congress, if I'm not mistaken.
The vice president is the tiebreaker of Congress.
Is the tiebreaker of Congress, right? Leader of tiebreaker of Congress. He thinks that Mike Pence could have just walked in there and been like, well, I'm the vice president and I'm the most important member of Congress, so fuck you, we're not certifying it. Mike Pence it's one of the, do that.
It's also one of the very few actual responsibilities of the VP to certify the vote.
But he has to do it according to the members of Congress. He can't just walk in and say, this is what I'm deciding to do with this.
But, Trump seems to think that literally anybody can do that.
Right. And this is a much larger issue. And I was talking to a friend about this earlier with why Parler was using free shit and things that weren't really backed up. This is this generation of my dad will sue you people. Mm-hmm. And this is what Trump comes from. It's this boomer generation of being rich and white, and because of that, untouchable. And they raise their kids this way. I made money, therefore I got in. And this was, especially generational wealth that came in from bootlegging. Generational wealth that came in from bootlegging. You had, like Trump's family, very high prominent people that made a lot of their money in bootlegging because of the money that they had and the politicians that they were paying off. They were never held accountable for their illegal activities. So they continue to raise their children with, it doesn't matter what you do.
Oh, thank you, comrade. Apparently there was a blue request right after the turquoise. So
thank you, comrade. Okay, so what are we doing next?
Alarm has not gone off yet.
Just give me a heads up on it.
It's got 3 more minutes left, and our next one is going to be yellow.
Yellow. Okay. So you're passing down this generational, it doesn't matter what you do, our money saves us. And as the social divide grew, as the racial divide grew in America, as the sexuality divide grew in America, money was then replaced with whiteness.
Well, I mean, they were synonymous for most of history.
Right. My dad will sue you. Brock, what's his name? The kid, the rapist. Brock Turner. The sheer difference in sentencing between people of color.
Well, also think about if I say the words bad neighborhood to you, what immediately comes to mind?
Right. What comes to mind? It's this long-standing building history. So the reason why Parler had left themselves so open is because they are literally this class of, we can do whatever we want because this is what the world has presented to us. And they thought that they were untouchable. This is the same thing that Trump comes from. It doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter how many failed ventures he has. It doesn't matter what backroom deals he makes. His parents' money had saved him. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
So now he thinks this is how the entire fucking world works. And he really thought that Mike Pence could just be like, okay, cool. I'll just say no on the certification. Because, Trump really thinks that we live in, what's the word I'm looking for, with the king? Monarchy, thank you. My brain spaces.
I mean, his supporters want a monarchy, or at least a lot of them do.
He thinks that this is a monarchy, or this is like North Korea, and he just, okay, I lost the election. Well, guess what? Not anymore. He thinks this is how shit really works. Wait, who are we talking about? Caleb? Who are we talking? What Caleb? Who are we talking about? Over here.
Let's see. Let's see. It's money, and then it's whiteness, and then it's God will save us.
Yeah, what's on? Who's Caleb? Gainer, who's Caleb?
Oh, Caleb Maupin.
I've had a lot of fucked up.
Apparently, Holodomor denialists are the scary ones. That's Caleb Maupin. Apparently, is a Holodomor denialist.
Oh Jesus!
That's apparently the context of that conversation.
Oh, this guy. Okay. I had to see his face. Okay. All right, I know who he is now. Okay, Caleb. Okay, I just had to.
Also,
see his
if
face.
I mispronounced his name, fuck him anyway. If he's
no, I just needed to see his face. Ooh, that was scary. Okay. Looks like the toys are being left in the drawer tonight after that one.
Why did you subject yourself to that, Jen?
Well, I had to figure out who he was.
We are now switching colors.
Yellow, right?
Yep, yellow's the next one.
This is the darkest yellow I got, y'all, and it's gold.
All right, 5 minutes of yellow.
But yeah, this is why they've left themselves open, because we have a history of people like this never being held accountable. They didn't know how to properly cover their ass because they'd never been looked at before. They'd never been watched. They had never had to think about accountability. That's why they left themselves so open. They just were wholly unaware of it. Completely.
I mean, that's part of the reason they're so scared of Antifa, because, you know, let's face it, we have a lot more experience covering our asses because they hate
we're watched all the time. We've been watched all the time.
Also, for those of you who don't know, hi, I actually have done this.
Done what?
Antifa stuff.
Oh, yeah. That has
specifically, like, I've gotten into fistfights with the Proud Boys before. And for those of you who ask about the outcome, I will say the same thing I always do. I didn't start the fight, but I did finish it.
Well, I was married to one for a while, so.
Whoops.
And okay, so I need to clarify that. Because people were like, oh my God, was Jen a former Proud Boy? No, I was not. My ex-husband doesn't have his own personality and will mold himself to whatever he's around.
Yeah, so I was about to say, didn't he get radicalized over the course of your marriage?
Yeah, he was extremely, I would say liberal. Not so much left, but definitely liberal when we got married. And as the marriage, we moved down south. He got wrapped up with some people. And as the marriage started to fall apart, he got way more radical.
Are the Proud Boys people, though? No. Are they?
I mean, biologically, sure, but...
I'm going to get in the comments. Proud Boys are people, too. You're never going to bring people over from the right. I'm never going to bring people over from the right.
I don't give a fuck about bringing people over to the right. Let me fucking ask you something. It's fucking winter outside, right? It's cold out in this motherfucker, right? You see a rat running around, or you see a fucking roach running outside your house, and you're like, oh, it's cold, I should care for it. You gonna bring it in your house?
Rats are not a good example because I keep pet rats, but I wouldn't bring a wild rat in.
Yes.
Also,
you gonna run that to your house?
Thank you again, Witch. Ain't one of them ever had a family run a still, just saying.
Mm-hmm. My daddy'll sue you people don't have those fucking, that kind of families. Fucked up. But you know what I'm saying. If you,
I mean, like, none of them have darning as a survival skill taught down in their family.
If you see a poisonous animal, fucking pick one, outside in the cold in winter, and he looks angry.
Cobra.
A scorpion, right? Scorpion, a cobra, and he looks angry because he's cold, and you're in a space. Yeah, a coyote, a dingo. Well, no, people keep coyotes as pets down here, so. Coyotes and foxes, they keep them as pets down here, so that's a bad example. But you got a cobra who's cold outside and he's hissing at you because he's dying and you're in his space. Are you gonna bring it in your fucking house? No. Why the fuck am I gonna bring some radicalized, violent fucking white boy in my house and in my circle? Why? Why am I going to give him the potential to hurt people and myself, hurt people I care about and myself? Why am I going to do that? Fuck off. These people need to be driven back to the fucking rocks and the fucking 2-branch family tree that they fucking came from. That's where they need to go. They don't need to be brought out in the open and their fucking beliefs accepted and, oh, let's try to hug them and change them. They're not going to fucking change. They are fucking not. There are too fucking many of them for them to find solace in each other before that they're gonna fucking change. And you don't understand that this ain't pineapple on pizza. This ain't mustard on a fucking hot dog. These are deeply fucking held, ingrained moral beliefs that could be akin to a fucking religiosity. So would you turn around and tell a Christian, a pagan, whoever the fuck has faith, would you turn around and tell them, I'm going to accept you to change you? Because that's exactly how these people view their views. This is exactly how they feel about them. It's a religiosity at this point. So no.
Ikeda Hakubi with $5 super chat. If I were looking for a faith, Ally's good example to lead me to Hellenism. Purple was my favorite so far. All right, we've got purple. Which, did you post a color? Because if you did, I missed it. Not. Okay, so we have 2 blank color spaces. Jen, you hit over 100, and we are not even fully an hour in. I think we're going to have to stop accepting colors at this point. So we have one more blank, and we have purple, because I don't think we might not even make it through all the ones we have.
No, hold on.
So that was yellow, right?
That was yellow, but
we're back at red.
You're saying We're back at red. Okay. Hold on a second. I know that I can't scroll that far up. I believe it was Socialist Dragon requested which color. Socialist Dragon, if you're still in the chat, please remind me of your color. I'm sorry. And which also said red. But this is, we gotta fucking, they ain't gonna fucking change. Fuck you. All right. They're not gonna fucking change because this deeply held ingrained belief has kept them in power. And if you strip them from this, then they actually have to work to be mediocre. They are literally born and coast on mediocrity, and it is the fucking standard at this point. If we dish out fucking equity, it is the death of their mediocrity. And they are not going to give that up.
All right, guys. So we have pink, turquoise, blue, pink, orange, blank, which we're just going to do the red if we don't get the person who had the blank. Red and purple. That's enough to fill out the last half hour of the show.
Thank you guys so much for participating. We can make this a regular thing.
Yeah, we can. If you guys like this, let us know in the comments as well as in the side chat. I know that means you have to kind of stick around until it goes to not being live anymore. But it's easier to track the comments than it is to track the side chat as far as taking poll data. If you guys really like the color thing, we can bring it back next show. Just vote. But for right now, I'm cutting it off because we usually try to cut off the show at about an hour and a half.
Legit, too. Like, my kid is only like, keep it blue, keep it blue. So my house, it's like refreshing to see that I can actually use these other colors because all I fucking is in my house is blue all the fucking time. It's just blue. Just blue. Always. Everything.
Jen is blue, dabba dee dabba die.
Everything in my house is fucking blue. All day, fucking every day. I'll put regular lights on while he's in here doing school. He'll mute his mic and be like, Ma, put it back to blue.
For those of you who are new viewers just now tuning in, by the way, this is absolutely the chaos that the show usually is. This is not unusual. There is nothing broken. This is just how our show goes. Like, you get about 30 to 45 minutes of the topic, and everything else is whatever the live chat ends up fucking us off into oblivion for.
But yeah, I'm not going to sit here. I spent $10,000 to divorce a proud boy. You think I'm going to invite another one into my bedroom? Fuck off.
The point being is that civility doesn't generally, so it's one thing to say be civil, it's one thing to say, hey, if the person's engaging honestly and they've just got some shitty ideas, talk to them like a human fucking being. Like, I advocate for that if the person's engaging in good faith. If the person's obviously not engaging in good faith, well, they can go fuck themselves. But the thing is there's a distinct difference between, say that and trying to state that, in some way that civility is going to convert them.
Has it yet?
That's the point.
Do you think that this newfound civility, do you think this fucking thought of civility is new?
If anything, go watch the video, you go low, or we go low, you go high.
Mm-hmm. You think it's
that basically explains it. We can be civil all we want,
he
but
doesn't like the food, so he's being a dickbag.
I mean, that pretty much sums it up. You don't have don't murder them, but you don't have to save them.
I'm not saying go out and take their lives, but I'm not bringing you into my house if you're freezing either. But now people are bitching that First Amendment. Who is cooing? And what are you, a fucking pigeon? What is wrong with you? I love you, honey, but Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Whatever. So you guys will have to interact with the cats during our show. It's just what happens. So people are yelling about free speech, free speech, free speech. And I'm going to be doing a more in-depth video on this week on breaking down the First Amendment.
We're going to be getting into in a few minutes also, like where these guys are going to go, right? Because there are actually places where they're going to go, and we did find an article on that. But I would like to let you do your free speech rant because Jen's take on this is brilliant.
I am going to be breaking down the First Amendment in my next video. So basically, free speech.
Jeez, Jen, you that eager to get to the shill portion?
I'm just saying, bitch. So free speech.
I'm picking on Jen. This is my best friend.
Yeah. Free speech says that the government cannot control the media, basically saying that they can't turn around and tell news organizations what they can and can't report on, what they can and cannot say.
It doesn't mean a private company can't.
And it also means that if you speak out against the government, like we have fears. If you speak out against the government, they can't throw you in the fucking gulag for it. This only has to do with government factions. And aside from the freedom of religion aspect. We're not going to get into that right now. But all this is saying is that this is the government's control on speech. What do we have next?
Time's up. Next. All right, that was red again.
Red again. All right.
Okay, so so it's not red again. That was red again. We are now at pink.
Pink. I haven't tried this one yet.
Sam, 5 pounds. You guys deserve the support at this point. I could tell when Jen's going to swear more or less by the tone of voice. Mm-hmm. We have the time, and you have time to send a super chat. I don't know why that wouldn't come out. Like, my brain is just blah.
It's been like that for a month for me. But the First Amendment basically imposes what role the government has on speech, whether public or private. It has nothing to do with private companies. It has nothing to do with somebody's job. It has nothing to do with booting somebody off of a fucking social media platform. The First Amendment does not apply between people. It applies between the government infringing the right of speech on the people and the right of information on the people.
The Supreme Court has ruled that it also does not protect against incendiary violence.
No, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater.
Yep, the Supreme Court has ruled on that.
Right, but when they're talking about deplatforming people, Twitter is not a government entity. Facebook is not a government entity. Parler is not a government entity. They are a corporation who, there was a couple of real estate agencies who found out that their RE agents had gone and spoken at this rally and had fired them. These real estate companies are not the government. The First Amendment has nothing to do with private business, and it has everything to do with what the government can impose on your right to speech. Period. So, there's that. Before anybody fucking comes to me with this shit, I'm at the fucking point where I'm going to steal another idea from Service, and I'm going to have a new patron tier. It's going to be $1,000 for per creation, and for that $1,000, you could be my fucking daddy and tell me what the fuck I need to do and how fucking wrong I am. For $1,000 every creation, you could bring me back to childhood. There you go.
You know, it makes me wonder if the Koch brothers might just take you up on that.
I mean, they can afford it. What is it? The Soros check. Soros better start making up his checks to my fucking patron. Come on. Let's do it.
The ones we still haven't gotten yet, even though we've been running the shows political for quite some time. Mm-hmm. Where the fuck's my check, Soros? God.
Yeah, what the fuck, bitch? Fuck, I got my $600 before I got my Soros check. What the fuck?
All right, so Parler was not the only social media site out there for right-wing fuckwads. And yes, apologies for those of you who consider yourselves to be right-wingers just in general. You know, people who are like, I'm center-right, etc. I'm not talking about
fuck you too. No, fuck you too. Fuck you too. Fuck you too. I'm center-right. Eat my fucking dick. First off, all
I'm saying when I'm calling the fuckwads, though, I'm talking about the terrorists who planned this shit.
No, I'm fucking calling all y'all out. What is centrist? What are centrists? Centrists are people who want to fucking virtue signal and want to sit there and raise a little fucking flag like they got support, but don't want to do a motherfucking thing to sit there and sacrifice their comfortability for the rights of fucking others. You can eat a big fat fucking dick too, and that's only if you're a man. Because you're so fucking worried about sacrificing your comfortability for the rights of the LGBTQIA members. Men that are centrists can eat a big fat dick, and women that are centrists that decide to fucking subscribe to this shit can literally drown in my wop. Fuck off. 2. Right wing. I don't give a fuck if you are a moderate or extreme right winger. You, in your political position, has decided that my son doesn't deserve a fucking quality education because he's disabled. I don't deserve to fucking marry the person I love.
I don't get access to life-saving medication.
I am not allowed. I need to
and my
saved for my
beliefs.
Should
decide whether or not my mental health medication gets paid for by the end of this month. That's another thing they decided.
You've decided that because somebody doesn't make a certain amount of money, fuck it, they can die. Fuck them.
Yeah, that would be my. That would be my downstairs.
I'm a centrist. You know what a centrist is? Just the tip. That's what a fucking centrist is. Being a centrist is nothing but playing a giant fucking game of just the fucking tip. That's all it fucking is. Either ride the fucking dick or put your fucking pants on, bitch. Figure it out.
I mean, centrism is just a full-throated endorsement of the status quo. Which, honestly, you know, full-throated, like, I guess if you're gonna go whole hog, but still.
There's my rant on centrist. Sam, no, Bernie, we're talking, Sam, we're talking about centricism within the U.S.
Socialist Dragon, I'm going to take pink as your initial, like, color, because, again, as I said, the color thing is shut down for the evening, but you were the one who had the blank color in there, so I'm going to give that to you.
So, yeah, Sam, I'm talking about centrist in the sense of U.S. centricism, not European. Your centrists are our left. So I'm speaking about it in that context. But yeah, that's my rant on those two.
So let's talk about some of the places where these fuckwads might head. Now that you have absolutely run off into the weeds with the transition. This is, again, guys, there's nothing unusual about the show. Welcome back to the coalition, and welcome to the coalition for the, I want to say 30 or 40 of you that this is your first time here, because we normally have an audience of about 60 or 70, and we're up to 105.
Oh, I was like, oh shit, we lost viewers. It's like, fuck, we probably lost viewers for that shit.
I mean, if they're mad, then they're gonna die mad, because like that's kind of how you're talking to a leftist
mad,
and a socialist.
You can die mad drowning in my WAP, bitch. Shut up.
Besides that, though, you're talking to a commie and a socialist
who's getting more and more left every day.
yeah, Jen is eventually going to become a commie. Like, this is just a thing. But you're talking about you're talking to a commie and a demsock.
I want to address that. Marrow. Bernie isn't a centrist by U.S. standards. But when it comes to other nations, specifically European nations, even some African nations, even some South Pacific Asian nations, Bernie is a centrist.
Okay, so metric. The alarm, I just stopped it before it went off again.
Okay, what are we next?
So that was the first pink. Turquoise.
Turquoise. Is that one? Kind of. Wait. Turquoise is like a blue-green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. That's turquoise, guys. That's about as turquoisey as it gets. Let me try that one. Maybe that one? What do we think? Can we deem this as a turquoise?
I think that's a turquoise.
What do you guys think? T in the chat if this shit is turquoise.
Press F to pay respects for Jen's sanity. Just to confuse her more.
Yeah. Because it's just so fucking easy at this point. Alright, we'll keep it there. The person that paid for it likes this color, so we'll keep it here. Okay.
Hey, as long as y'all are happy, y'all are the ones paying for it. Yeah,
you're the ones paying for it. I'm still learning all the new colors, so bear with me on it. We'll figure it out. But yeah, Gab, I think what the fuck is a Gab? But apparently Gab is the new platform.
Gab is one of them.
Telegram has always been big for it.
Yeah, and there's also one called Phoenix that I didn't know about until recently when I was digging into a right-winger. But there's one called Phoenix Social Network, and that's another one that I've seen a lot of people talking about that was started a couple months ago, actually. A person called Angry Viking started it. This motherfucker is a full-blown militia leader, guys. Like, I've been digging into him. He has militia recruitment on his website.
I know!
F right? To pay
even
respect.
Even the cat was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Angry Viking only has like a couple thousand subscribers here on YouTube, so it looks like he's nobody. And then you look at his Twitch, and then you look at his
I'm looking at
BitChute.
What the fuck is a BitChute?
He's got a BitChute is right-wing. BitChute is like right-wing Twitch.
Oh Jesus, fuck! Really?
It's bad. You don't want to go there. It's a Nazi cesspool.
What's his name? Angry Viking on Twitch?
Angry Viking. It's Angry Viking 1776 because of course it is. Phelan, that's actually an excellent topic for another show. Jen is now in pain because Jen has now discovered that this is a thing. Yeah, covering BitChute creators is lucrative for lefties, Jen. That might be
oh my god!
Videos.
Of course he looks like this. Of course he has the receding fucking hairline with the non-conditioned, shitty, fucking split-haired fucking beard. Oh my god. And of course he has a fucking terrible Facebook infantry shirt on. Oh my god. Of fucking course he looked. Jesus. Fuck.
First I have to pay respects for Jen. Also, Phelan, this is an
excellent topic. Why do they all look like that though? Why? Why do they all have that fucking hairline where it's like a peninsula? It's got that like...
You're gonna break Sam.
It balds here, but like this stays there. And then they all have these beards. They never fucking come past here. And it's like... It looks like somebody lit somebody's pussy hair on fire. It's this weird wavy curl, but it's all fucking split and fucking frayed. It never comes past here. They always have fucking coffee in the beads of their fucking mustache. Why? Why do they always fucking look like this? Why? And it would fucking kill them to understand what moisturizer is, because they're all fucking cracked here. They're all fucking cracked here, and you can see the fucking cracks around the corner of their mouth. Why? Yeah, why do they always fucking look like this? Why?
Jen, you forget. Like, if dudes invest in skincare, their dicks fall off.
And they always have that y'all on Facebook know them super fucking graphic shirts on, and it's like, I'm infantry, so I fought for your freedom, and they always have the fucking cross rifles with the 1776 on it. Why do they is there a store that we don't know about that is just like, hey, you want shitty fucking throwback Jeff Hardy shit? Come here. This way you can tell everyone you're a real Viking valhal thought. Is it a store? What? Is it on Instagram? What the fuck is it? Grunt style. Yes, there's a store. God damn it.
Jen's broken. Okay, so that
is what set me over the
That motherfucker was one of the people who planned that shit. He had a video back on the 20th of December that talked about the 6th and called it the first step in the coming civil war. All right, we are at, let's see, that was the timer. I believe the next one, let's see, pink, turquoise, blue.
That darkens it a little bit. That's the best. Wait, what is that color?
Darkness.
Ultramarine. Ooh. No, that's purple. Okay. I know about grunt style because my ex-husband's a fan of it. My ex-husband's one of those guys. Except he doesn't partake himself as a Viking. He's just a regular old fucking white boy. No, wait. Snarface, I call them Valhal thoughts. Valhalla posers. Valhal thoughts. Oh, can we explain commie and socialist? Yeah,
that's what I was saying was going to be a great show idea. Like, actually talking about the difference between DemSoc and honestly, one of these days hashing out our actual differences, because people have asked, like, are we just carbon copies of each other politically? No. Jen and I actually do differ. We get into arguments sometimes in private about certain things. They're usually civil arguments.
I'm definitely more for the public sector. I'm more for the private sector. Excuse me. I'm more for the private sector than Ally is. But not in the let's go full capitalist way.
No, Jen is like, let's socialize basic necessities, and my response is, who gets to decide what those are, and then we get into the argument from there.
Yeah, then we fight from
there. But yeah, that is the funness. So we can have a, hey, Ally and Jen get into a cat fight, which won't actually be a cat fight, and we can hash out our political differences between the two of us. Because we are more similar than we are different, but our differences are significant enough that asking the difference between them could take up a whole show.
So, that's...
Victoria, last one, you sound like home, and I love it, but I am more concerned for your blood pressure. Please breathe.
Funny shit. I was, like, going through a divorce, stressed the fuck out, and my blood pressure stays perfect. It does, like, I have gone through the worst shit in my fucking life, and my blood pressure has never spiked. It's bizarre.
Jen is immortal. She just doesn't fully understand this yet.
Apparently, that's one of the secret pagan things I do. I don't know.
So, there are other alternatives, though, and we did find an article. We're in the last 15 minutes of the show, but we have a few more things. We've got pink, orange, red, and purple still to go through.
Purple. Okay.
So we need to make sure that we actually get through those. We got 20 minutes left in the show, so we've got a little bit of time to talk about this article from the Rolling Stone talking about other places that people are probably going to go. Because there's a couple of them, actually. MeWe is another one, which, you know, like, let's just go ahead and talk about how that is the... I'm going to get on my MeWe.
How the fuck can I take... You really want me to take a fucking civil war seriously on this shit? Like, Parler, okay, that sounds a little brutish. MeWe?
MeWe.
Me.
M-E-W-E, MeWe.
That sounds like something parents who don't want to call genitals their proper name say to their kids.
Don't put your hand on your MeWe.
That is your MeWe. Mm-hmm.
See, it's not it's only for me, not for we. Anyway, I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say that. Socialist Dragon at Jen, look up the various market socialist philosophy. I recently became a patron for an anarcho-syndicalist. I am an anarcho-syndicalist myself. Jen socialist? Is more experienced in politics than you probably realize.
Socialist, you said the word philosophy, and that makes me literally light my tits on fire and run.
But also, Jen, you can talk a little bit, since we've got new viewers, about your background in politics. Cause
yeah, I've been in the political
you got some
credentials. 20 years now. Interned on the Hill, did a couple of other internships, and decided that that area of politics is not for me.
So I come from. You want to make exactly zero money doing constitutional law.
Well, yeah, but my family is a old Republican. Well, what would now be considered Republican.
You're part of a dynasty.
Yeah, my family's part of a dynasty. So when I got into politics, it was more fighting the I'm not my family, don't come to me with this, than actually being able to do anything. So I then got into what I would call the private sector of politics, to where it's organizations, activism. God, I've been an activist now almost 25 years. Through...
Oh, God. Hi, Marrow.
Hey, Marrow.
So we have our next color, which on my list, we just got done with blue. That's pink.
Oh, hot pink. I didn't even know this was a color. It was hot pink good, y'all. I saw something that looked like pink.
Now we're really in the red light district with Jen. Everybody, all aboard.
I swear to God, somebody's going to knock on my fucking door.
MeWe sounds like a product that lets women pee standing up.
What is that thing? A Go Girl. Those are called Go Girls.
There's actually another one of them. They are, God, what was the actual name of it? I'm trying to remember. It's for trans men, and it's like, I'm trying to remember the actual name of what it was. Because there's actually like a trans, like standing up, trans man accessory that you can get. It's like a PayPal or something like that. I'm trying to remember.
But yeah, for those who are curious, I've been in the political sector almost 25 years now. I've run through shit like redlining in New York City. Just outside of New York City. Redlining, stop and frisk, police brutality, just a lot of shit. I've done a lot of shit. Does Memory Land have an embassy? Probably in the toy drawer. That's probably where that would be. Shiwi is the one for cis women. Okay. Thank you, Conrad. Excuse me. God, we had McDonald's. My kid brought home a really good report card. He pulled all his grades up, so we let him have McDonald's for dinner. Oof. Big Macs don't agree with me. That's sauce. I view the variety of leftism as a school of thought. Fun fact, there are different schools of Marxism. Yes, that I do know. Socialist. I know there's different schools of Marxism, communism, and anarchism. It's just finding one that suits me is the thing. So yeah, we have some alternatives. We have a covering genitalia platform. What are the other ones? I'm not calling it what it is. It's covering genitalia platform. Because I know that they would associate that with trans people, and it would just piss them off. So.
Let's see. MeWe. I'm trying to find the other one.
Gab.
That they mentioned. You mentioned Gab. Telegram is another one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I know how Telegram is.
It talks about, this article talks about how private Facebook groups are going to get bigger, which they already were. Like most of that thing was planned.
Yeah, Facebook doesn't consider it a high priority unless it's front facing.
This is a consistent problem with Facebook.
Where are the cats? Damn, I started yelling. They left. Okay, shoot. See.
Let's see. There's another one in here, and I'm trying to find it again.
Wait, what, Braven?
Other platforms. Here we go. Small scale events. They're claiming that even on places like Twitter and Facebook, that there's a concern that the app's being taken off because, like Parler and the like, that it's going to galvanize the right's rhetoric about big tech censorship. So we want to talk a little bit about that.
Oh my God, they're doing that already.
Lisa for Truth says, am I the only one afraid to go to sleep?
I'm allowed to own guns, so...
So do you want to talk a little bit about the right-wing sort of conspiracy theory, like, oh, they're out to take away our tech?
That big tech and the media are persecuting them and silencing them, and it's like, read the terms of service, dickbag. So, and this is what gets me, right?
Also, aren't you all part of the party that, like, said big tech should be allowed to do that shit to you?
Yeah. So... here's what I don't get, right? Because they're always like, comply, don't die, right? That's the big thing is, comply, don't die with these people. But you flip out if you don't comply with the terms of service and they kill your account. I don't understand. Well, comply, don't die, right? Right, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, bitch.
So, I think we're getting pretty close to wrap up. We've got Pink in the background. I think we've got, what, 2 or 3
Lisa,
more?
we covered that earlier, and I will be releasing a video Thursday. Okay, so hold on. Too much going on. So,
Socialist
Lisa,
Dragon says, that's very sexy, not gonna lie, that you studied constitutional
yeah, it
law.
was a minor for me. It was a minor for me in college, but I'm thinking of going back to school and taking it full scale.
Okay, you're not even thinking about that anymore. You're just waiting for the opportunity to present itself at this point.
What?
To go back to school. You said you were talking about moving to another state to do it.
No, I'd rather do it online. Because I'm a lazy bitch and I don't want to put on pants.
We are new color. We are at orange. We have 2 more. We got 15 more minutes to get through.
That's as orange as I have.
Ragabash Dabbler says, just dropping in.
Thank
to
you.
A couple blocks your way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ragabash. Lisa, we did cover free speech doesn't cover private companies, and I will be doing something more in depth on that Thursday. I will be releasing a new video Thursday on that on my channel.
So, do you have any sort of final thoughts about things like Parler being shut down and actually we talked about Trump got banned from Twitter and Facebook, and people are calling censorship for that too. So let's talk about that a little bit.
They didn't ban the official government account.
Of course not. That would be a very bad decision.
The real POTUS account. They did ban his personal account, and he attempted to get onto the real POTUS account and tweet out his bullshit, and then they deleted the tweet. They were like, nope. And apparently they've been watching and making sure he doesn't get on Melania's account, which is fucking hysterical.
That's actually kind of hilarious.
I'm like, oh my God, he actually has a joint Facebook with his wife. Is he going to get a joint Facebook with his wife? I got to see this shit. Okay. That would be wonderful.
You've had some choice thoughts about the whole joint Facebook thing.
It honestly screams who doesn't trust who to me. It's like, why... So, and I know this isn't for everybody. It's for me, though. I need to be separate from my partner. I need my own spaces. I need my own...
Let's face it, it's healthy to need separation
and it's healthy. It's healthy. I do not need people addressing me and my partner as a one entity. Like, no.
You don't believe that you're going to become one flesh just because of the ceremony.
When their body parts are out of me, we are no longer connected. And I would rather not talk to you through that. So let's keep it like that. But every couple that I've seen that has a joint Facebook, it's because there was some violation of trust that went down. So I'm like, oh, way to scream
or
that
because
somebody
one
cheated.
of them's a paranoid prick.
It's
That
like,
often happens.
Way to fucking say somebody cheated. Okay.
And again, that's not applicable to literally everybody that has a joint
not
Facebook,
to everyone. I'm just saying from my experience.
Or even a joint Twitter, because there are some people that say, have like YouTube channels that they share.
No, that I get. Like if you're running like a channel and shit, yeah, it makes it a hell of a lot fucking easier. But for personal accounts, somebody's got fucking, like, you don't need a joint social media. You need fucking therapy. That's how I see that shit, personally. No, I don't even think it's cutesy, Sam. When I see a couple, especially two people who seemingly have had their own interests and had their own personalities before they became a couple and then become indistinguishable as one, it's a warning flag for me. Because that's what a lot of abusers try to do, is try to wipe any part of your personality to mold it to what is agreeable to them. So when I see two people that are way too much of a one, it sends off a lot of red flags for me personally.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, we have two more. We've got about 10 minutes. Do you want to start getting into the show portion?
Yeah, so I said it earlier, I will be releasing a video breaking down the First Amendment. I don't know if I'm going to be covering the religious aspect of it. I would like to, but I don't want the video to run too long. But this week's video will be taking the First Amendment section by section and explaining what each section means. Because even apparently they're not teaching this shit in school when a Yale fucking law student decides that his book not being published is a violation of the First Amendment. Holly, looking at your ass. Looking at you, bitch.
Do you have any interviews going on Friday?
No, I'm still building that back up. I need to rethink doing it on Friday. Because this last month off, I've really liked having Friday and Saturday and Sunday off. So I may be working like another day of the week to do that. Not sure yet.
Well, that'll be exciting. Stay tuned.
Yeah, you know what it is? I got into video games again, and I'm like, but I really want to play this.
Sure.
I'm like, but I really want to play this, and like.
So I'm hearing a whole earful of ADHD right now.
And it's like, I'm sitting there and I have a gigantic TV screen in my living room. And I'm like, I have this big TV screen and I have comfy pants on and I don't want to draw my eyebrows on. I just want to, wait, color. Marrow! I'm actually, bleh, my whole brain just shut down.
Next color is orange.
No, we're doing orange now.
Okay, then it's red.
Okay. I was like, wait, we have orange now. Marrow, I have a few ideas, and you are one of them. So I will be reaching out to you in a few weeks about that. Once I figure out when I'm going to be doing them. No, Sam, I went overboard with the me time. I'm not even going to lie to you. I got AC Valhalla, and it got really bad. I was like, I have to 100% this. I'm still 100%ing it. Victoria Twitch Gen, I'm going to try to run through some more things on this game. I have an Xbox, so I need to figure out how to connect it to the computer and it not lag. So I'm kind of working on that, but it's also me just not wanting to draw my eyebrows on. It's just having the motivation to do it. So constitutionalism.
Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, by the way, while I go sit over here
and I
joking.
Should probably sit down and talk one day, Socialist Dragon, because I see constitutionalism and I'm wondering if it's originalism or if it's pluralism being applicable to it. So that's something you and I.
Well, on my
end, they just released a patch that fixed a fuck ton of the bugs and made it way more enjoyable. They have not fixed the fishing bug yet, but they fixed a lot of shit on it. So get the update patch, try it again. It makes it a hell of a lot more smoother and it doesn't bug out as much.
More smoother. Jen is definitely getting tired tonight.
Yeah, more smooth. Fuck off, cunt.
Okay, look, picking on your grammar is a joy in my life, okay? Like, I'm a fucking author.
I'm
You're
thinking
hanging
about
out with
food.
Me.
I'm not even going to fucking sit here and lie to you. I'm thinking about food. I have indigestion, and I'm thinking about food. That's terrible.
This is a problem. I have been sitting here knitting the tail for the Pikachu commission, by the way, this entire time. It has been wonderful.
So, what you got coming up, Allie?
So, this week, I'm about to start another fucking fire, because reasons. For those of you who are new to my audience and or are not in the main part of the Discord where this was discussed, the Rolling Stone pulled some dumb shit and basically put out an article claiming that all heathens were racist by saying that heathen was a code word for white supremacist aligned pagan, which there's a bunch of Hellenists over at the YSEE that would take some issue with being called heathens, but let's go off. But
because pagans are only Norse.
Yeah, the only Norse. Well, then there's also a bunch of atheists who call themselves heathens who shouldn't, but they're going to take some issues with that too. So,
y'all. Don't.
So, I did a video on how Ocean Keltoy and Wolf and I and several other, heathen creators and pagan creators and atheist creators
and one atheist creator.
2 atheist creators, you and Navardia at the very least. And a number of members of various heathen groups and some other groups, including an allied Hellenism Discord server who was kind enough to help us out. You got an answer to your question. Pluralism, to form a more perfect union, we need to enfranchise more regardless of race, religion, etc.
We are good. I actually have a pluralism video. Keep talking, I'll send you the link so you can put it in.
So, I'm going to be talking about how we all kind of came together under mostly Wolf's guidance, but there were several other leaders within various factions of various pagan and other groups to basically tell the Rolling Stone to fix their shit. Now, the Rolling Stone partly fixed it by changing one fucking word, but it fixed exactly nothing because it said favored by or often favored by, something like that, instead of code word for. And so basically we politely but firmly bombarded the email of the editor and tagged both the editor and the author of the article on Twitter, correcting them until finally the next day the corrections were actually made. And several of us did actually thank them for having done that. But I'm going to be talking about, the name of the video is called What Do We Owe Each Other as Allies? And I'm going to be talking about how certain people that consider themselves to be leaders in the heathen community basically told their followers not to do that, and why that's a whole fucking problem. And how if you want to call yourself an ally, you kind of need to get into the trenches with people who are suffering. So I'm going to be talking about why that work was important. I'm going to be talking about why it was important that we all did that. And I'm going to be talking about why and for those of you who are newer fans, you might recognize this particular person's take and who I'm talking about. The love and light. Stop talking about these symbols next to the guy who's using them for hate. Just use them for positivity and it will change.
I don't want to call my friends out. Because if I speak out about it, then my biggest benefactor and my biggest backer is going to pull support because I'm calling him out.
Yep. So why that does not work and never has worked, and how if it did work, then Heathens Against Hate and the SPLC, the Southern Poverty fucking Law Center's article would have been enough to stop that travesty from happening.
Allie, I sent you 2 links. I have one episode on pluralism, and then I have an interview about it for those who are interested if you want to throw those in the chat.
Sure. So this is the first link that's going to be going in here is the interview, and the second link that's going to be going in here is
I started with the solo episode, and then I did the interview to follow up with it. So
yes, but you have to scroll to the bottom to get to the top in Discord. So the first one's the interview, the second one's going to be the other one because
for those of you who are interested in my pluralism takes, those are the links there for it.
But also sub to Jen. Seriously.
Yeah, sub to my shit would be great. I think I'm
if you're new in my channel, somehow I managed to surpass you with subscribers, I think, and I don't know how that happened.
I am 9 subs away from 1,600.
I just hit 1,800 tonight.
I would like 1,600 would be great. Thank you.
Go sub to Jen.
You were doing a lot more.
Yeah, I didn't take a month off.
Yeah, I took a big month off, so that's the big reason for it. I took a month off.
But also, let's face it, strength could also seems to attract attention.
1,600 would be nice this week. Thank you. Thank you.
Also, link is in the description to my Discord. because of the recent shitstorming, it's going to take a little while for the mods to get to know you, for you to get out of the gatehouse. However, there is a thriving, vibrant allyship, not pagan, allyship community. A lot of us are pagans. Not everybody is. We even have a few resident Christians who get along with us and are, you know, if you're not a dick, you can hang out. If you are a dick...
But I will tell you right now, it doesn't matter if you are a pagan, it doesn't matter if you are a Christian, it doesn't matter what you subscribe to. If you are a fucking asshole, you will get your fucking head bit off by me and you'll be banned.
Me, and probably my mod team, because my mod team takes absolutely zero shit from anybody at all.
So please, thank you.
But yeah, as of tonight, I hit 1,800 subscribers. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to grow my channel a little bit, in part because, as you guys know, one of my partners lost their job, and so I am now kind of the main breadwinner alongside my other partner, my husband. Thankfully, my Patreon, because my patrons are amazing, they have actually made it so that our very base bills, without my medications or anything extra, my base bills, if I get all 4 of my videos out for the month and charged, I can cover the difference between that and like what my husband makes and what my boarder is paying because of you guys. So you guys are freaking amazing. Any super chat stuff that does not get split with Jen, so my half of everything, plus anything you give during my solo stuff, which also does not get split with her, is going to be going towards things like my medication and like toiletries and stuff like that. Like when I'm talking about base bills, I mean like food, gas, all of my bills, like so I don't go bankrupt. That's it. So thank you guys again so much for your contributions on that.
Links are in the description. There you go, Sam. Fuck. Boom. There's 2.
200. There we go. But like, thank you guys again so much for your support. Thank you guys again for hanging out with us. Thank you guys for coming back to.
Was that the last color? Was that red? Was that the last one?
I believe it was. Either that or the timer didn't reset. But nope, the last one was purple.
Oh, so let's throw that up. Because I want to make sure everybody gets theirs. Indigo.
Yeah, Meredith likes to cause a ruckus. Also, Akeda Hakubi, $5 super chat, 200. Yay, 200 fucks. This is not actually the highest we've gone. I don't remember which episode it was.
No, it was like it was the school.
It was a school rant. You broke over
267, something like that.
Yeah, 267. Thomas Paine is underappreciated in America, says Socialist Dragon.
I gotta brush up on my Paine shit. It's been so.
Aether Teal says thanks for another great evening, ladies. Vigilance. Thank you guys so much.
I kind of poured into Thomas Paine in college, and then I had this super shitty ex after the first relationship out of my divorce, who, excuse me, who was a fucking Thomas Paine fanboy, so I was like super turned off for a few years, so I should probably get back into that.
But do you want to talk about a couple of the topics we've got coming up in no particular order? One of them, we've been debating whether to do it here, whether I should do a solo stream, but we might do it here. We don't know yet. Is the why worker co-ops and why they are more stable than like individually owned businesses or private stockholder businesses. This is a potential meeting point for Jen and I because it allows a sort of pseudo-capitalist where the workers still own the means of production so long as you're still working there. But it also is a significantly more stable working position.
Yes.
But because banks can't make as much money off of them because they don't take out as many loans.
You are able to distribute the wealth more evenly.
And they also discourage. Founding a worker co-op is very difficult.
Yes.
Compared to like founding an individual, even though they are significantly less risky.
Yeah.
So that's a future topic. They can't make
as much money off of them, so fuck them.
We've also talking about the impeachment at some point and getting a little bit more into that after we kind of figure out what's going on with it
before. Yeah, because fuck. Shit.
Man. There was another one that we were going to talk about right before the holidays ended that I'm trying to remember which one that was.
Man, the last week has been a hell of a year, man. The 2 weeks of 2021 has been a hell of a fucking year, ain't it?
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about the definition of insurrection. That was one of the legal definition of insurrection and whether or not what happened qualifies.
That was it.
That was the one we were going to talk about. So these are all topics that are potentially going to be coming up, as I've mentioned several times. Even though we're still waiting on our logo to get redone, the Xenia Coalition is now mostly a focus on allyship in the political sphere, which is extremely important going forward, given basically what we're all about to be going through. But I'm going to stress one last thing before we head out. And this is something Jen and I both agree on. And that is, it doesn't end just because Biden's president. We need to fight. And one of the main focuses for this show, potentially going forward, is going to be helping to push people to hold this new administration accountable for their bullshit.
Push the centrists to the left without having to drown them. Kitty says hi. Without having to drown them in WAP juice.
So we're going to be talking a lot about activist stuff, and we're going to be really watching this new administration. We've done several shows in the past covering various aspects of what the administration has promised, and we're going to be covering whether or not they follow through on those promises going forward.
Yep.
So thank you guys again so much for hanging out with us. Remember, we're stronger together. We built the coalition, and now we fight.